Sisters again to another session of General Conference. Another intervention, of course, because, yeah, let's just, can we, please, you guys, let's just stop calling it something that is not. Let's just call it what it is forever and ever and ever now. It's an intervention for all these people here. Can we just do that? This is dumb. Okay, guys, a lot of everything that we do is really dumb. We just do that for them. At least then they understand. Alright, well, I'm really getting sick and tired of having to say all these things at the very beginning. Do you understand? It's really dumb. A lot of the shit we're doing is really dumb. I really don't want to say everything at the very beginning because I'm getting sick of it. Okay? I want to get kind of right to the meat of it all. Okay? And this is more so like the Book of Mormon that my talk is about. And really it's utter and total bullshit, okay? Now let's start with, the very beginning of it, where it talks about Nephi being born of goodly parents. Now let's question this whole thing, and before we get into questioning the whole entire bullshit book that it is. Okay, this guy Nephi being born of goodly parents. How the hell do we know this? Well, he says it, sure, but how old was he when he even wrote this freaking book? How does he know what goodly parents were? Really want to know what that even means. What the hell did he even mean by it? For all we know, he probably got beat there every day of his life, and he's like, oh, this must be good. Oh, hooray, I'm not getting beat today. Must be good. How do we even know? Zachariah and Sarah, who were they before the book was even written? For all we know, that guy was freaking, whacked out of his gourd and just, freaking high as fuck the whole time. And then Sarah, for whatever reason, she was like, yeah, this is just my guy, and he just wanders around high and shit and calls it a day. But this is the thing that we do as people that we are during the time that we're pretending to be, that we're alive. And oh, there he goes again. Let me go get Zachariah before he falls into another thorn bush. Gets all beat to hell. I swear, I don't know why I stay with this man, but here, let me go get him. Okay, you can't be going and doing this shit right now, man. You stop it, okay? There's a life beyond being high all the time, right? Okay, yeah, I get it. You're having another vision. Yeah, right. You're just, okay, how many fingers am I holding up? Okay, when I'm holding up fingers, it's not an animal. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. When I'm holding up 4 fingers, it's not a camel, okay? That's actually kind of funny, but no, my 4 fingers are not a camel. Okay, come on, man. Can you please lay down? Please, for the love of God, lay down, okay? And then let this whole thing pass. Then it came to pass, Zachariah went and laid down and didn't do anything for the rest of the day. Please go lay down. You look like an old crazy man. And it scares me. Please stop doing whatever this is, because, stop waving your hands around. That doesn't help. And that could actually be their parents, even though the whole book was completely bullshit anyway. And then the whole book of, and then it came to pass. Why didn't they just say, and then? Why? Then it came to pass. And then we did this. And then we did that. Then this happened. And then this. And then this. Could have saved them a lot of words. Just saying, and then. And then, it would sound more like a child, but it sounded like they could have really saved a lot of wording. Just saying, and then. And then not only that, but then even the stupid stories in this stupid book. You think about it, right? There's stories in this book talking about the Nephites laying down their swords during an entire battle. Now, let's think about this. You're in battle. You could be killed. And here come the Lamanites, and they're like, hey, we're going to kill everybody that is here, and because that's what we're doing here. We're in battle, and this is how battles work. It's kind of the strongest of the fittest here, and oh, you're just gonna put your swords down. Well, that makes things incredibly easy. Wow, here. Let me just make this easy on all of us. Stab. Wow, look at that. You just fell like it was nothing and kind of was. Okay, well, next. Oh, wow, this is... Okay, come on, you guys. Like, this isn't even funny anymore. Like, this is pretty pathetic. We're, like, in battle and we're gonna win because you just kind of gave up for God knows what reason. Like, is it because you just saw how many numbers we had and you were like, wow, we don't have that many number of people. We're just gonna put our swords down and hope for the best. Okay, well, here we go. Stabby, stabby. And then it's like, you know what, guys? Instead of doing battle all the time, you ever get sick of battles? Why don't we just, like, bury our weapons? That sounds, I mean, besides being a really, really, really dumb idea, why don't we try it? See what happens. We're going to promise to God we will never do battle again. It will be a promise to the guy who tells us what to do. And apparently somehow this is like a good faith thing to him that we won't do battle again. So we're gonna bury our swords. I don't know in what world this makes actually any goddamn sense, but okay, let's do it. We're going to dig a big giant hole and put our swords and shields and everything into it and bury it and pretend like it doesn't exist anymore. There we go. That's how human civilization exists, is by burying our weapons. Wow, look at us go. We're like better than everybody else because we don't need weapons. We've got God on our side. Somehow this just makes sense. Yay, God. Then there's a whole question of this freaking Nephi's boat, right? He had zero, we're talking like zero formal education into how to build a freaking boat. And even when he was like praying, he was like, what the hell do I do? When God's like, go build a boat. And he's like, how? Literally never done that before. Like, what? That's like, go build a spaceship. And I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You just need to do it. Like, okay, let's actually get some things straight right now. What? And then, seriously, what? What's space? And then also, what's this? What? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he was just a dude who, like, could do carpentry on small scale, and here it is, he's, like, being told to go build this giant-ass ship with no plans, no way of knowing what a hole is, how to properly build a hole. And I mean, he would have been doing it straight up guessing. Okay, like that's it. I'm pretty sure he ended up making like a little rowboat, and then everyone's like, okay, this is way too freaking small, man. Like, in what world does God tell you to build a little rowboat and it really looks more like a raft? Like, yeah, that actually kind of makes a lot of sense that you could build a raft. Like, anybody can do that. Has like 2 arms and an imagination. But as far as like getting like all these freaking people, right, and food they're gonna eat wherever we go, this is really not gonna work, man. This raft is sad. Like you. Come on, man. I think you kind of need to learn how to do things before you kind of say that God told you to build it. Like, get some real skills, man. Come on. We get that, like, this is the old times of when we don't know how to do shit. Come on. Like, maybe you should actually, like, talk to people instead of just God. Think of that, Nephi. Did you ever think about that? I mean, people are going to, like, believe in everything and every word you ever say at some point in time in the future. Least you could do is like ask some questions of more than just one guy. Okay, so then whatever the hell it was that Nephi was thinking, whatever this dude was at the time, let's give some things straight. Like, Nephi never existed. Okay, I'm sorry to bust your we're really special people guy, and we're a really special place, and we're going to the promised land kind of shit. Okay, it was all bullshit. I'm sorry to be the one to have to say it. Okay? Nephi never existed. Anyway, so here was Nephi by some mysterious and completely insane way he built a ship. And, okay, this is just okay, you guys, come on. Like, we're making fun of people at this point. Do you understand? Like, we made this one dude who just somehow, like, just learned shit by sheer magic. Built a big old giant-ass ship with... Okay, come on. Okay, come on. For real, you guys. Like, what do you guys know how to do? You guys know how to sit. Good job. Wow. Anyway, so a lot of this just doesn't make sense. And I hope you all understand it, too. But here it was. Somehow this one guy kind of built this giant-ass ship. Kind of got his family a little bit involved, and they knew even less than him. But, like, do you understand how much work actually goes into building a ship? Like, you actually have to know math, like, really incredibly well. Or you're gonna build, like, something and they'll be like, okay, this doesn't even resemble a ship. It looks more like you have real problems in life, and shipbuilding should never be one of them. Like, maybe go out and just eat food the rest of your life, okay? Okay, boy? It's okay, man. We get it. Like, you had dreams, and boy, did you screw that one up. Don't worry, not everybody gets to be, a shipbuilder when they grow up, because they kind of need to know what they're doing. And we don't even have this thing called math yet, so how the hell is it that you think you're building anything at this point? Like, there's literally no evidence that what we're doing here is even real. So, we're, like, not even a real people, and we just have, like, some way of pretend, but for that would be incredibly challenging at the time. I mean, if we were like in Greece, right? Like, at least then there'd be like a probability that we actually did exist in some way. But no, we were like in the Middle East, where they were basically coming up with they were hardly even having a basic numbering system at this point in time. And here it is, we're building a giant ship that really would require like advanced math skills. Think about that. But somehow this ship was built, and boy, this is really not fun, okay, you guys? Like, they built the ship, not really, but okay. And then they're like, okay, well, it's built now, and it's, because of course it's a big giant ship, and we built it on land, like, this thing's not gonna move. Because how? Okay, let's be honest. Like, how the hell is it that we're moving this big-ass ship to where the water is? We're not, because we basically only have manpower at this point, and that's it. Any type of, like, us getting it anywhere is basically not gonna happen. Think about that. Like, we're talking in the tons of weight for a boat. Like, this big-ass ship that we somehow, when we're pretending actually was built. We're not moving it, because that's really dumb, okay? No human in the history of anything could ever move a big-ass ship like this. Okay, Nephi, I'm sorry I somehow, out of whatever, you built this thing, and it somehow works, maybe, and we're supposed to go to the promised land. Ooh, is that like, hey, you know what could also be the promised land? Here. Let's just call here the promised land, where no one really bothers us. As long as we just don't go to Jerusalem again, I think we're okay, guy. You know, sometimes I really think your two brothers were actually more blessed for having, like, doubting you than you are in believing some guy saying you're the special little kid that's just actually more like a know-it-all. Pretty sure that you were homeschooled and your own dad just looked at you and like, screw those two guys, screw your two brothers. Okay, you're special. And really, he kind of meant it in a different kind of way. You're special. No, not really, but sure, why not? So, there you have that. So, somehow, of course, they get it in the ocean. No, they didn't, but okay. And then, of course, they have the whole Liahona. Yeah, freaking right, man. That never existed, okay? Liahona does not exist. Never did exist. That thing is complete bullshit. And somehow it pointed where God wanted them to go. If that doesn't sound like the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Freaking Liahona, get out of here. So anyway, somehow all of these incredibly insane things happen for these people of during like the stupidest years of human civilization, and then they're on the boat and they're looking at the Liahona and they're like, okay, this is where God wants us to go, and he kind of needed to give us this thing because God was afraid of saying go left, go right, swirl around a little bit, make it look pretty. I'm really actually spelling out my name in the ocean, and I'm using you guys to do it. I like doing these things and screwing with you guys for some goddamn reason. I got nothing better to do with my time. Come on. I could have actually literally picked you all up, put you over in the promised land, and then you're there. But I really like to see you guys struggle. Being honest, you guys. Look at you guys go. Somehow you're actually doing a lot better than expected. I mean, in reality, like, a lot of you probably would have died this whole time. And not only that, but, like, the ship has 0 sails. Like, how the hell is it even moving? I don't know. It's just, like, chugging along and... But... Like, that thing works on mysterious ways in a lot of ways. Like, we gave you this Liahona. Maybe it has a rudder. That's kind of cool and all, but that does dick for you in this case, because not having freaking sails, okay? Like, a ship needs sails so it can get pushed along, and then it has a little rudder to steer it, sure. But, like, you know why? Alright, well, since we're in the land of make-believe, why couldn't it have been, like, a bridge? Why couldn't we just build a giant bridge at this point? Then, like, you're just putting one log right in front of the other. Then that would actually kind of make a little more sense. I mean, it makes a lot more sense to this bullshit. Tell you what, then by the time you get to, like, the promised land, then you just burn the bridge. 0 evidence. So, here it is. These people are on a ship and somehow just kind of knows where it needs to go and not really sure what the rudder's for. They could have just built a box at this point and been like, God, help us out, man. We built a box that we're all just going to stand in the whole goddamn time and we're just going to hope for the best. That would actually be a story I could believe. We can build boxes. That's like really easy. You build a box, and then you've got a box. Boxes make a lot of sense. So, somehow they end up in the promised land. Ooh. And then they get down on their knees, and they thank God. Like, oh, thank you so much for getting us here. And not killing us or having something kill us. Which would make a lot of sense. That something right by now would have killed us. Because, well, this land is severely untamed and we have 0 weapons to defend ourselves. So us getting eaten now is like a high probability. Like, we are on the food menu. That is our lot in life right now because what we have are fists. Wow. Animals have teeth, we have fists. How are we supposed to defend ourselves against that kind of shit? Like, we hardly have even fire invented. So, here we are now in the promised land, and we're just gonna build shit, of course, because it's what we do as humans. Actually, that's literally what we do is we just build shit. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll give praise to the guy that got us here. Okay, you guys, come on. Like, do you even understand, like... And then it came to pass, and then... We just built shit. And then we went and made more people. And then we built more shit. And then we made more people. There's a lot of building and making people. A lot of building shit and a lot of building people. It's what people do throughout all of human civilization. And then, for whatever reason, Eamon and Lemuel kind of got pissed off at Nephi. We're like, okay, we're kind of pissed that God likes you so much, so we don't like you anymore and we're gonna leave. And it was like, okay, and we're gonna go build our own shit and make our own people. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna call you the Lamanites now because you dissented against God. Like, no, we think you're kind of just making shit up and pretending that this guy named God is telling you to do this, so we're gonna go now and we're not gonna be around you anymore. Like, well, your loss. So they go and build their own buildings and make their own people, and there they are, just doing that same thing, just kind of in parallel. Oh, and then Nephi kind of tells him, like, you are now gonna be cursed by God. Fuck you. I don't like you anymore, and I kind of never did. Neither did our own dad. Your own dad didn't even love you. Hope you can live with that. Like, yeah, we know that dad didn't like us. You were his special son. You kind of look special. Like, okay, well, we don't want to say anything because that might be insulting to actual people. So you're special, and we'll just say you're special. So we're going to go over here, and we're just going to go do our own shit because you're a dick. And then whoever wants to come over here and not deal with Nephi and his bullshit anymore, come over here, and you won't be treated like a dick like Nephi does. Because he's honestly kind of the biggest asshole around. And so some of the people that were like kind of sick of Nephi, they were like, yeah, you're kind of right. Nephi's kind of an asshole. I don't like him anymore either. We're going to go with you. Maybe you'll treat us with dignity and respect. Who knows? What else am I going to do at this point? I'm on a land I don't know anything about. And, well, what the hell else am I going to do? It's either deal with this asshole or deal with you. I guess maybe I'm kind of intelligent like that, and I can decipher differences like this. I'll go with you. So, there kind of was a splitting up of people. And that's kind of how the Nephites and Lamanites kind of came about. And, like, that's it. Kind of dumb. I didn't even get into the whole, Laban and, boy, that whole story. It's more bullshit, really. So, I should have backed up and I should have started with this part before getting into the whole Nephi's freaking boat. So here they were, next to Jerusalem, and they're like, okay, guys, we need to get money. Okay, and even though all this stuff was technically ours, and Laban kind of kicked us out and was like, hey, this is my shit now, go the hell away, we're gonna get our shit back, okay? Now Nephi, because God, for whatever reason, he just really likes you, and we're going to entrust you with getting that shit back. Like, yep, I know God trusts me. I'm his special little guy. Look at me. So, here I go. Oh, here, come on, Sam. For whatever reason, you should come with me. My little brother who doesn't know dick just believes everything I tell him. Wow, look at you. You believe anything I say. That's how it should always work. You always just believe everything I say, and you do everything I tell you to do. Not like Laman and Lemuel. They're kind of assholes because they don't believe anything I say, and they don't do anything I tell them to do. Kind of sick of those two. One day, I hope something happens very, very badly to them. All right, Sam, let's go get our family's money. So here, apparently Laban is some guy who's just he's like a tax collector or something. I'm telling you, he's not really the king. He's not really he's like, dude, give me shit because I'm telling you to. And everybody around him was like, okay. And then he was just this big fat fuck. Like, yep, I'm a big fat fuck who just takes shit and sits in this throne and doesn't do anything. That's my life, okay? This is me, and I've got this jaguar somehow, and I'm just like that kind of badass. Don't actually do anything. Don't really, this is just who I am. Look at me go. I sit on thrones, and I have a jaguar, and I don't believe in God. I just believe in doing shit I like to do. Like taking shit from people and keeping it for myself. Bada bing, bada boom. All of this is mine. So, here comes Nephi and Sam for whatever reason. Sam doesn't even serve a purpose in this case, except for kind of being the witness for shit. Sam, you're stupid. And no one believes you anyway. Stay home and go fishing. You'll like fishing. Fishing is fun, and then you catch fish, and then you have something to eat. Sam, please stop listening to Nephi. At some point in your life, realize that he's just incredibly dumb. But of course you won't, because you just really, really like your older brother, because he lets you hang out with him. Yeah. Okay, so there they are, go off to Jerusalem, and sneaky, they go up to the gate, and they kind of sneak in. Ooh, look at you go. You can sneaky, get past the guards. And then, oh, lo and behold, you know exactly the right place to go. And with how populated their version of Jerusalem was at the time, they knew exactly where to go. Wow, look at you. And then Nephi making his voice sound like Laban. You know, there's zero record of Laban ever in any text, in any place, anywhere that this guy actually existed. Like, if this guy was such a big deal, he would be at least written down once. You'd think, like, hey, wow, this guy just kind of took over, and this is him. Like, he legitimately existed, and we're writing this down to actually say that this guy existed. Okay? People of the future know that this guy was alive, and this is the stuff he did. Nope. Not a single documented anything saying he existed, but okay, we'll go with it. So somehow here it is, Nephi's like talking in a King Laban voice. He got really good at it. He did impressions for a while. Maybe that's actually something he went to school for, how to do impressions of people you're not. And he got really, really good at King Laban's voice. And then as soon as the guy who's like in charge of watching over King Laban's freaking money, he was like, oh yeah, that's sounds like him. All right, so I can let my guard down. Okay, open the door. Oh, look, wow, you look in really great shape. Like, I just saw you earlier today and you were like fat as fuck and not like built like a beast. Wow. Like steroids, my god. And then, oh wow, okay, yeah, you're not actually King Laban. I should have like figured that one out a lot sooner than right now, but I didn't because I'm stupid. So, well, dude, you're in here now, and I'm actually a really small, tiny dude, and I have 0 guards here, so yeah, this makes sense, I guess. Where we store all of King Laban's shit, we have no guards that actually protect his accountant from people like you. Yeah, that sounds legit. And then Nephi's like, yeah, came here to get my shit, and I'm gonna go. And he's like, well, it's not really yours, it's Laban's. And even though you kind of came in and kind of sounded like him, and okay, this doesn't, guys that wrote this story, please shut the hell up. This doesn't make any goddamn sense. And at least that's me being an idiot, at least having some common sense. Okay, back to this nonsense story. Okay. Alright, well, okay, you're here and I have 0 way to defend myself. Take your shit, I guess. Like, what am I gonna do? I can jump at you, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna throw me across the room. I mean, look at you. What am I stopping here? I'm stopping a wall. No, this isn't gonna happen. Alright, well, take your shit. Well, I mean, yeah. So, Nephi takes his shit and starts running with it. Then, of course, the accountant's like, okay, yeah, now that you took it, okay, now I can actually do something about this because you're not right next to me. So now I'll get some guards to go after you. So, guards, okay, he just took a bunch of Laban's shit. Can you go and stop him now? And so then they kind of do. They kind of like get the shit to fall out of the bags that Nephi brought with him to carry with him out of Jerusalem. And so Nephi kind of ends up with nothing. That whole thing solved nothing. Yeah, good story. Oh, I kind of forgot about the whole point of Nephi killing Laban. Okay, all these stories are really just made up bullshit. So, I mean, what does it even matter that I'm telling these stories out of order? It all makes the same amount of sense as everything else anyway in this. So, the whole meeting of Nephi and Laban, yay. He's kind of telling them, like, hey, we want our shit back that you stole, and well, I'm not leaving here without it. He's like, yeah, you kind of will be, because I've got these guards here, and I'm really just a fat fuck who doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to get as many people as I need to get you out of here. Like, yeah, I get that you're a really big dude, and it'd be really hard to stop you, but with enough of my guards, like, yeah, it's a game of numbers at this point, and you're not stopping them. Like, you should be actually asking the question, like, you and what army? And then it'll be like, well, there's me and this is my army. Go away. So Nephi kind of leaves at that point because that's like, yeah, I can't take on all these guards. That would be incredibly dumb. So I'll just come at night when you're alone and you're drunk, and then I'll kill you in your sleep. Not really. You won't actually be asleep. You'll just be drunk. And it's like, okay, well, likely story. As I'm drinking right now. So that's what I do. I'm a fat fuck who drinks and doesn't do anything. So that's how that whole initial meeting goes. And then that night, Laban's like, yeah, what else am I going to do except for drink? Because what do you want? I'm an old man, well, middle-aged man who doesn't have a life or anything. I just kind of wander around in my own city and I drink. So that's what I'm kind of going to do, is I'm going to just kind of drink and, well, that's it. And, oh, look at this cloaked man. I don't know who it is, but, oh well. And then, oh, ouch, well, now I'm going to die. Oh, wow. Oh, look, and it's Nephi, and he was right. He said how he's going to kill me. He stabbed me, and now, yep, I'm really, really gonna die. Okay. Oh, and now you're gonna take my cloak. Oh, wow, look at you, Mr. Original. Well, I'm dead now. And at this point, Nephi was kind of told he needs to get the fuck out of Dodge, because, well, he killed Laban. So he kind of hurries on his way. He gets some brides to be at the same freaking time. Like, yeah, you ladies are, oh, I forget the daughters. The father's name that he has like all the daughters. Somehow he's like, yeah, your daughters are going to come with us now and we're going to go procreate with them. Okay, and you don't really have a choice in this. And, well, your daughters are kind of hot, so we kind of like them. I'm like, okay, yeah. And God told us to, so God told us to fuck your daughters, so that's what's going to happen. I'm Nephi and God talks to me. Let's go. So then they're like, okay. And then Nephi tells him, like, oh yeah, we're going to go to this place called the Promised Land. Ooh, doesn't that sound euphoric? And then the father's like, yeah, that sounds so euphoric. Ooh, you got me mesmerized now. All right, daughters, let's go so Nephi and his brothers can fuck you. Okay, so then they got the hell out of there. Because for whatever reason, Jerusalem was going to be destroyed, and Jerusalem was never destroyed. Just saying, you guys, like that was a load of bullshit right there. So whatever Lehi was on at that point, like, was really strong. So they ran away from a perfectly fine place to go somewhere else. At this point, that's really all it was. People just really enjoying running away from other places. That's it. That's kind of all they did. Let's see, we gotta keep moving because something bad's gonna happen over here. Oh no, let's keep going. No, it's probably fine. You're just really paranoid all the goddamn time. Stop taking drugs, man. That's probably a better advice than thinking that everything is going to kill you. Because when you're out in the wild and there's actual wild animals, they probably will actually kill you. Not people, unless you piss them off, like a lot. And, like, you really have to piss people off a lot to get them to the point of wanting to kill you. You gotta think about that. Okay? Because most of the time, people are actually kind of nice and, they'll just leave you alone if you leave them alone. It's kind of how people work. They leave you alone, you leave them alone. People leave each other alone. It's not until it comes to, like, resources and housing and for whatever, God knows reason, like special places that people really have a heart for, that they think has some special religious or spiritual meaning, that then they get pissed off that somebody else has. Then it's like, just make another one. For real. Like, we have two special places that this group of people just kind of worship differently and it's okay. Nope. Gotta have that one place, and that's the one and only special place that everyone has to fight over. Okay, that makes about as much sense as anything else around here. Alright, so that's a little bit of the gist of Nephi and his family and the shit they do. They run away a lot, and that's kind of what they get really good at. Is learning how to run away, because for whatever reason, God tells them to run away. In what world does God just tell his chosen people, you know what? Run. Just run away. I'm God and I have all the power in the world and I'm going to tell you to run. I'd really like to see you guys run. Like, why didn't he just have, like, marathons? Or, like, some other, like, sporting events for them to do, then it'd actually be entertaining. Maybe even entertain God once in a while. Be like, oh wow, look at them run. They can run so fast. They actually trained for this kind of thing. Okay, this is actually better than like sending them off on like wild ass missions that accomplish dick and they don't actually make any sense at all. This is actually entertaining and it actually makes sense. Like people could learn how to run. Literally like, hey, what if I just go fast? Doesn't take much thought into that one. Just go fast. Oh, look at how well you go fast. I'm so proud of you going fast. And then Nephi'd be like, thanks, God. I know. Thank you for giving me these legs to go fast. See, that makes sense. He's appreciative of having the legs he has to go fast. And then that makes sense. Not like shipbuilding. And then it's like, God, I don't know how the hell you taught me how to do this, but here we go. Wow. Look at me. And then it's like, no, none of this makes sense. See the two parallels? One of them makes sense, the other one doesn't. And another thing, what kind of names is Zechariah, Sarah, Nephi, Laman, Lemuel, and Sam? Being from the Middle East, like, what kind of freaking names are those? Like, you tell me, like, how Middle Eastern do those even sound? That sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, they didn't even bother to, like, think up like actual Middle Eastern names to give them.